Hey everybody, it's Joe G from the new 8-Bit Heroes. Thanks for checking out this video about NESmaker, the tool set that we built to create actual hardware-playable cartridge-based NES games without ever having to write a line of code. Alright everybody, today is going to be a fun day. We're going to look at music, we're going to look at how we can get stuff from a program called FamiTracker and compose music there and get it into the NESmaker tools fairly easily. I don't want to delve too much into FamiTracker because eventually our tool is going to have its own unique music composition tool, which we're going to encourage you guys to use. But for the time being, some of you guys I know are really anxious to get started and are already creating things, and I want to show you the sort of proper way to use FamiTracker in order to get the music into our engine, and how easy it is, and show you how simple it is for those of you who prefer FamiTracker. Okay, so first of all, if you look in our hierarchy here, you can see that there is a new node, sound. It's got music, it's got sound effects. Essentially, it's looking at a particular file. Back up 1 second. Music for the NES is not like music for GameMaker or something like that. With GameMaker, you make a WAV file or an MP3 and you load that in and then you play the MP3, and basically it's your computer's sound system, the API, the library that comes with Windows that's playing back the WAV file or the MP3 or whatever file. NES obviously can't work like that. The NES, you have to actually write the engine that plays the music. And so we are using an engine that was created by Derek Andrews of Gradual Games called the Gradual Game Sound Engine. And so all of our files need to sort of conform to what his engine can do, unless you wanted to write your entire own playback engine, which is also possible, but I don't recommend it. So anyway, what this is actually doing is it's taking a look at, this file right here. And let me show you what this file is. It's looking at this file right here, and it's looking at all the songs that are loaded, and you can see song 0 lines up with song 0. Song 1 lines up with song 1. Song 2 lines up with song 2, etc. And same thing with sound effects. Now, right now, I only have one sound effect loaded in. All your sound effects are going to start with SFX, and anything that doesn't start with SFX is going to be sort of seen as a song. So anyway, I just wanted to show you a little bit about that, and what this will show you a little bit about what the data looks like. This is actually what the NES is seeing. This is what the emulators are seeing. This sort of data, these strings of hex values and labels and things like that. Okay, just a little behind the scenes there for those of you who are interested in that kind of stuff. Let's get to actually making this work. If I wanted to put one of these songs into the game, real quick, I made a really, really simple start screen. This is based on the Troll Burner graphics. You can almost see it if you played Troll Burner. I just made it say press start, and I can actually set what song plays during this type of screen. So Mountain Theme or Pan Fugue or Muse March, and you can see they're loaded in by name here. These are for all your special screens. For your main game screens, if I wanted to load a song, I can go to Song Info, and my song index, this will eventually also say the name. This predates this by a long time. This has been here for months. So eventually we're going to update this so that instead of seeing song index, it says these names, just like the other screen. However, even now, all you have to do is count. So this would be Mountain Theme. 1 would be Pan Fugue. 2 would be Muse March. 3 would be Waltz of Yeli, etc., etc., etc. And then this screen would play the song that you have selected. And if you go to another screen, if it's the same song, it'll ignore updating the song. And if it's a different song, it'll stop the song and then play the new song. That's sort of how the engine works right now. And you can always tweak that to your specifications. But let's take a look at, let's test that out real quick. So if I load in Forest Song, if you guys have played Mystic Origins, you guys have heard this one. And I go to test, and I export and test. We get the Forest theme. Okay. if I want to change if I don't want the forest theme in there, maybe now I want the pan fugue. Okay, so change the song in the start screen, export and test. Different song. So it's that easy to sort of change music and play with music and get songs loaded in that you want. Very cool. Let's talk about getting it from FamiTracker in, and I'm going to do a really, 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 really simple, not tutorial, but demonstration of FamiTracker and how to start creating music with it. If you're interested in FamiTracker, it's a free program. You can download it right now, and there are way better tutorials than this on YouTube. So if you want to start making music, don't watch this as this is your tutorial. I just want to show the basics of it. Okay, so for the NES, you have 2 square waves, a triangle wave, a noise channel, and a sample channel. For right now, we're going to disregard the sample channel. Our sound engine, Gradual game sound engine, can support samples, but it does offer some other complexities. Right now, we're just going to say, don't use the samples. You won't really need them to make compelling music anyway. So what you do in order to make songs with these 4 channels where you create your epic score using just chiptunes is the first thing you're going to do is you're going to add an instrument. So I'm going to add an instrument, and I can call that instrument something. I'm going to call this melody loud. All right. I can go into melody loud, and right now I've got my MIDI keyboard hooked up to FamiTracker, and I can go ahead and play in notes. This is what this sound sounds like, and I can start making adjustments to this. Like, I want to use a different duty cycle, which sounds a little rounder, right? Rather than this one, which is a little bit more plucky and sounds more like a clav, right? So let's use this for my melody, for my louder melody, and I'm going to also make a melody quieter, and I'm going to do that by doing this. I'm going to say add melody quiet, and we'll load that in. Volume. Make it about half the loudness and the same duty cycle. Give it that round sound. Okay. You can see. So I want this to be like an echo, like a trailing echo. So that's good. And then I want sort of a clavy sort of sound. So what I'm going to do for that one is I'm going to call this one clav, like a harpsichord kind of sound. And I want this one to have sort of a quick decay. So it's going to sort of do this, and it's actually going to stay on the first duty noise here. So it's going to sound like this. And, you know, I got to go back to volume and actually make sure the last one goes all the way out. So now it's very plucky. Right? Okay. So, there's other things I could do. Like I want a drum. I could add a kick. And honestly, kick and snare could really be this very similar because they're both sharp sounds that die away really quickly. So we'll call this a kick drum. Actually, we'll just call this drum. And it'll just be a quick decaying sound. That's loud and decays really quick. Now, it doesn't sound like a drum, obviously. However, if I play it on the noise channel, that's what it'll sound like on the noise channel. The triangle channel, this is usually what we use for bass. Okay, so I made a couple of instruments, and I'm just going to go ahead and thumb something in real quick. Let me find a good sound for a hi-hat here. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to just put it in record mode, and I'm going to put like a kick sound, and then like a snare sound, maybe. No. I'm just playing different notes to see. which one kind of sounds like a snare drum. And I'll just copy that and I'll paste it. Oops, sorry. Paste it and paste it. I'll just take all that and copy it and paste it and paste it. Okay, so now if I play that back, got this nice little rock beat feel, this little backbeat feel. Okay, so now I'm going to put in some bass, and I could just use the loud melody for the bass. The triangle wave works a little bit different than the square waves, but I'll just... let's see... So I'm going to copy that and just paste it here. So what I can do is I want this to keep going, but I want new information on these channels. Rather than duplicating all the information, what I can do is I could duplicate this frame, and these are right now playing exactly the same data, and I want the same data for these two, for my triangle and noise channel, but I want new data for my square waves. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is add the Clav Sound to Pulse 2. And I'm just going to, let's see, I did this all sort of in. Let's see. So I'm going to do something like this. And this is really simple music creation. Yeah, that'll give me. Let's do that and see. And I'm going to leave it just like that and not finish out this track. And I'm going to get the melody. And I have no idea what I want from melody with this, but... And I'm going to make one more duplicate of this melody, basically. I'm going to make another melody fade. So it's going to be almost identical. It's going to be like a full volume, same duty noise, except with the volume, instead of... I'm going to stretch it out to about 16, and I'm going to have it fade like this. And use that here. So I'm going to use that here. So now I get... I'll use that here too. And you know what? I want that to stretch out a little bit further. Maybe twice that length. And like that maybe. Let's try that. There we go. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give this second phrase a little bit of an echo behind it. And this is a really cool effect. If you wanted to add like a reverb or something like that, what I could do is I could make one track. Let's see. There, like that. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it, but I'm going to paste it a little bit behind, so like one note later, and I'm going to change it to the quiet melody, at least these ones here. I'm going to change to the quiet melody. So I'm going to replace instrument, and now you'll hear this has sort of a cool reverb echo kind of thing. Let me move that a little bit further down. So you can get the idea of how you can use these multiple channels to make some cool effects and things like that. All right, I have a song now. All right, it's a really simple song, and I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it New Dumb Song. Dumb Song. And I'm going to hit OK. And you know what? I'll add a sound effect too, just so we can see. I'm not actually going to use it, but you can see how it'll load in. Let me add something called SFX, I don't know, sound. All right. And hit OK. And I'm going to make this shorter, so I'm only going to make it 8 rows of data. And, you know, I just want this to be like maybe what I'll do is I'll add almost like a jump sound or something that changes pitch. So I'm going to pitch changer. Let's take a look at that instrument and volume, pitch. So with pitch, and then let's stretch that out a little bit more. So it kind of sounds like a slash, like I slashed a bush. So this could be a sound effect for slashing a bush. Yeah, in fact, let me call it that. Oops, New Dumb Song. That's what I wanted. And my sound effect is sound. Don't forget, with the sound effect, you want to put SFX slash and hit OK. And I'm going to, let's see, that's a good one. And I could also make something, you know, let me make sure that that goes all the way out. There you go. So now that has that kind of sound to it. Cool. So now I've got a sound effect and a new song. What I'm going to do in order to get music out of this FamiTracker file and into my game is I'm going to go to export text. And I've already exported some stuff. I'm going to call this one New Dumb Song. And I'm going to save it. So now it's saved this into a TXT file. And our engine can read TXT files and put it in the format that we need for Gradual Game Sound Engine. All I'm going to do is go to right-click, import FamiTracker text, and I've got my New Dumb Song. I'll open it, and you see now I only have one song, and I have that sound effect that I brought in here. So New Dumb Song is now going to be exposed to me in my start screen and all the other screens. So if I go to test, instead of hearing the Mystic Searches theme, I'll hear New Dumb Song. Export and test. And there's my new song. And here's my new song. So you can see how easy it is to get music from FamiTracker to the NESmaker tool, and you know, even without having our own custom music composition tool, this provides an opportunity, especially for those of you who are already familiar. Now, keep in mind, I did not add effects to the tracks because a lot of the effects are not supported. I did not use any samples. I did not use any arpeggios, which arpeggios will be supported, but we're not going to use them right now. Also make sure that if you're using one of these, and I'm not sure if I did this when I went through, make sure that they're all, the ones you want to use are checked and that they actually have some value if you've checked them. So like if you use volume, make sure that it's checked and make sure that you've given it a value here. So anyway, that's simple. Let me, before I finish, I want to share one of the compositions that one of the project's supporters created. In fact, this gentleman, Luke, used to be part of a band called Tears of Mars, and Tears of Mars was a band that my band used to play a lot with in Baltimore, and we've remained close over the years. And they're an incredible bunch of musicians, and they're all, Luke is also a game designer. So he created something in FamiTracker sort of for the first time and passed it off to me, and I asked him if I could use it in this video. So let's take a look at someone else's music completely. I'm going to open Luke's music. Not even going to save that song. That's how simple that was for me. I don't care about that. So here's Luke's song. Great sense of melody, you know, great composition. Let's do the same thing. Let's take this song, and I think this is the only song in this project. So I'm going to export the text, and I'll call it Luke's Music 2. And I'm going to just come over here, and I'm going to right-click on sound, and I'm going to import Luke's Music 2. And there it is right there. Now you can see I've got no sound effects loaded because I didn't have any sound effects in that project. And when I go to my start screen, it's really the only choice of song that I have. So now if I go to test, export and test, I should have Luke's song on the start screen. And there it is. Very cool, and so I hope you guys get an idea for how you can make use of FamiTracker to start creating music if you don't want to wait for our custom music engine. If this interface is wonky to you and kind of weird, don't fret. We're going to try and make our interface very musical with a piano roll, look a lot more familiar to those of you who are used to doing MIDI sequencing and things like that. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and your first glimpse at how we can get your own custom music into your games via NESmaker, and we'll talk real soon. If you want to see more videos about NESmaker and how to create your own NES games, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and help us get the word out further by sharing this video on social media.